Damn it, I wish I was able to swim.
I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sakuno. Sakuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers. Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs. Except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Cobb? From Lord Cobler?
Ah, it's about time Radzig got round to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. As I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right.
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure. No problem, Chief.
God! What's the... You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool and your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickvold Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Oh, he might have been after a bit of both.
Sinning and confessing all in one place. Well, I can see the convenience of it. Anyway, My mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window and I saw my mother there in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. But then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near Akovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
So,
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier.
oh,
But it's a long... You see, anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot.
well, no.
Anyway, then,
Christ.
hellish it. My sister, a few weeks, it was a week,
But
aye. You're telling me?
what about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling to Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed, I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the 3rd time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
Should we ride out?
You're keen, aren't you? But we're not riding anywhere in the...
All right.
You can sleep here in the camp if you want. There's room enough.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Why do they call you Dangler?
Because Kuno found me dangling on the end of a rope.
Ah, I see. So, he saved you from execution?
I wouldn't call it an execution exactly. At the time I was squire to the Lord of Buzitz. There was a proper night for you, full of ideals and honour. I looked up to him as a hero. Then in one skirmish he was killed, and the foe took me captive. They stood me on a shaky wooden cross with my hands tied behind my back and a noose around my neck, for amusement. Then they rode off laughing.
But how long were you stuck there?
I couldn't tell you. Hours, maybe days. In the end, everything started going black. I could feel the devil pulling me down by the legs.
Jesus! How on earth did you survive?
I didn't. When Kuno found me, he says I was dead as a doornail. They cut me down and took the rope off me. And someone gave me a kick and I coughed and came back to life. Sort of.
Should we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. Hope you've got your kit ready and whatnot. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting?
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting is sure to...
Sure.
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills, rising, purtling, all soft and pink in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide and inviting.
Dew glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye, it reminds me of that day. That day where the two of us fucked Fletcher's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed bird laugh.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletcher's moaning about.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of beyond everywhere we go. And it always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girls' sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight, and to the victor the spoils. That's how it's always been. But no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef. No one there will be eating.
On a count of, it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother. I ain't even touched the purse yet.
Once you've got your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to play you for your hard-earned grosh back at the camp.
What about you, Dangler?
Yeah.
What do you expect to find?
Utility and human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book and shut the fuck up?
Jeez.
Still smouldering. Whoever torched it can't have got very far.
Look for clues. Question the...
Poor wretch. Kuno will want to know about this. Looks like it happened fast. They can't be all that clever or they'd have taken the wagon. God almighty. They weren't even armed. Jesus Christ, what a massacre. I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that crest. It's the House of Zool. A dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about these Zools?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I've no idea.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders. They might not have gotten very far yet.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes. We'll keep searching here for a while, and then head back to the camp.
No signs of resistance. They simply slaughtered them like animals. What a pile of shit. I wonder if they found anything valuable at all. Oh, they turned the place over good and proper. You found anything interesting?
Fuck all. They cleaned him out good and proper.
And did he tell you anything?
He mumbled something about some Lord something. Zool, I think.
He could be the one who left this letter here. You found anything?
Fuck all.
And what did you do?
Don't you worry. I seen plenty of wounded fellas, and
I see. And did he tell you anything?
Groschen from that one. One more here. That makes... Worthless trinkets. Not even flesh could from this one. Worthless trinkets. Not even flesh could flog this lot.
Did the raiders leave any tracks?
Well, they came from the northwest. A horse or two and a few men on foot.
Anything else?
No, nothing.
Did you find any tracks?
Some, a horse or two. They rode off through the meadow towards dawn. They were avoiding the road, which is interesting.
Towards dawn?
Meaning towards the east. Apart from the mounted ones, there were some men on foot too.
Well, they can't move too fast then.
No, and what's more, they left a trail of blood. One or more of them might be wounded. Either...
Nice work. poor creature. Hunted down like game. Seems they met some resistance at the farm. What a waste. But at least I know which way they went. There they are.
You just need to put the hard stuff at the bottom and the fragile stuff on top.
But I'll have to take it all out again.
That's what I've been telling you. Gone weak at the knee.
But I'll have to take it all out again.
That's what I've
What
been
have we
telling
got?
you the whole time. Entertainment.
Great. Want to be valuable, so I put them goblets on the top.
All right, I got that. Take that! Is that all you've got? You'll get what for!
Bring it on.
Where do you want this?
There they are.
You just need to put the hard stuff in the box. Yeah.
I tracked down those raiders
You did?
a short way to the east, in a glen.
How many of them are there?
About 7.
I'll tell the lads we're gonna deal with them. Hey, to me, now! Listen up! Henry tracked down those bastards who raided the farm. They're dividing up their loot, not far from here. So let's pounce on them and give them what for. Move out!
Quiet as the grave, as the stone would say.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one since. Let me see.
At a loss for words, are you?
Stop it, please. Or I'll split my sides laughing.
Damn, I feel sorry for the stone. Imagine not being able to insult your enemy's mother.
Ah, Big Mouth Jakey makes up for it.
I don't know how you managed without me for so long. Who was it needed their back covered last time?
Jakey.
Jakey,
Fuck you. I don't need minding.
we all cover each other's backs. That's how this band works.
Get used to it.
I've no intention of getting myself killed by a bunch of bandits who pillaged a farm for cabbage.
Well, I don't know. You might get mistaken for a cabbage yourself.
Aye, he's green enough.
I'll cover you, Jakey. Got it? Thanks a lot, Fletch. Look out.
Don't think you can fight me and live. You gonna cry now?
Hey, who's there? What's that?
Right, we'll have a look around here for, clues. Meanwhile, Henry, you go and report to Radzig.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greetings, Henry. I hear you on the... Henry, have you questioned that?
Not yet.
Then get on with it.
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news. We came across a burnt-out farm near Merhoyed.
Christ. It seems Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
Now, this is something else, sir. We found a shield there with a crest. A tricolour star on a blue field.
I know that coat of arms, unfortunately. It's the House of Zul.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel. Defend your honor. Antinomious wretch. Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
But surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, I'd like to hear the whole story, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Very well. It began in the first year of King Wenceslas's reign. He sent me to resolve a dispute between the Zuuls and a neighboring house. It concerned land boundaries. The Zuuls had refused to accept the ruling of the land court. His Majesty's position was a little shaky after his coronation. So a decision was made in the royal court to take radical action against any dissent in the kingdom. Since the Zuul family was defying the king, we were obliged to punish them. Harshly, as the circumstances demanded. The head of the family, Hagen's father, was hanged, their castle razed to the ground and their property confiscated.
So, they're out for vengeance. But you acted according to the law.
Would it were that simple, lad. I was young and didn't realize the repercussions it would bring. For one thing, the king didn't use it to strengthen his position. On the contrary, he took less and less interest in such affairs.
How come?
Because he realized things would eventually sort themselves out. He promoted me to royal hetman, leaving him to pursue other interests. Secondly, my actions essentially created another band of robbers. When you strip a nobleman of his property, you can't expect him to take to begging. And thirdly, I wasn't aware at the time that the other party to the dispute was distantly related to me. Naturally, that made it look like I was acting in self-interest. If I'd known what I know today, I'd have been a lot more circumspect.
What happened?
That's a lot...
But you
Yes.
What
That...
What are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry.
I'd like to ask something about this Sir Hagen.
Sure. Good luck, then.
Greeting. Take care.
got some.
Alright. Good luck then.
Less.
Oh, Hen.
I've got something.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the?
I hope.
God be with you.
Can we do?
Cože je to za dědina nedaleko?
Goodbye.
Greetings, good. God be with you.
Fresh bread. Come and get it. Man cannot live by bread alone. Can't live without it either.
Yeah.
God save you. See you later. Take care. I'm at you.
Good luck then.
God be with you.
Yeah.